The story I'm about to tell is as juicy as Priyanka Chopra's engagement to Nick Jonas. This is the story of former coach Scantzor versus Entity Gaming. Bollywood drama invades Dota. Make sure you subscribe for new content just like this. Ladies and gentlemen, Crystalis Dota has presented many different stories. Some of you heard of me being positive towards Team OG's coach, Sebastian, who led them to a TI8 run. I also spoke heavily about Mineski's coach, Coach Tang, as they won DAC due to his efforts. But I haven't really criticized or critiqued a coach. Today we're gonna shift gear and go to another side of the world. We're gonna fly all the way to Mumbai, India. Yes, Bollywood dancers, get your feet up in the air. This is the story of the ex-coach Anthony Scantzor Hodgeson versus Entity Gaming. So many people don't know what Entity Gaming is about. Entity Gaming is an Indian Dota professional team. Entity Gaming made it through the group stage with a 4-3 record and would participate in the playoffs, only to lose to TNC Tigers, which was a formidable team. This team did very well in the qualifiers of the previous international. Now, this goes to show that Entity Gaming was at the precipice. They were at the brink of entering TI, the greatest international tournament of Dota history, with the biggest prize pool of 25 million. So for a smaller team like an Indian brand team, Entity Gaming, it was a huge leap forward. Now, let's fast forward and step to reality. In this episode, we're gonna get a lot of drama. We're gonna get the inside scoop of what is actually going down. What happened to Entity? How did they suddenly collapse? And is the coach to blame? What is the real problem between Entity Gaming and the coach Scan? So first, let me tell you what happened to Entity Gaming. Ever since their heroic run in the TI qualifiers, they started to fall short. They fell short in everything. For some reason, the coach ended up losing all of his players. Despite having a star-studded lineup, for some reason, Joe Breezy and Noah were the only two were left on the team, while Ping Vinseg, Hester Joe Rotten, and Black left the organization. Why did they split apart? And then in came new players named Velo, Death, and Castaway. After having these new players, the new cast didn't gel together, they didn't mesh together. So the coach suggested many lineups, many changes in positions. Remember how Sumail tried the offlane position? That was something that they also tested. A very risky move, which often does not pay well. So the manager of the team, Sid, says that they switched a position 3 player and forced him to play position 1. This was because of Scant, their coach's wild decision. He also made the decision of kicking the captain Joe Breezy. Then suddenly after that, another crazy change. The guy they switched from position 3 to 1 was then suddenly switched into position 5. So a new recruit became a carry, then a position 5 support. How could one player be switched so many times? These are the questions that the higher management were intrigued by, especially when the coach Scantzor was telling them all of these decisions. So along with having a crazy roster with players not knowing their true positions, the second most horrific thing that this coach Scant does is this. Listen carefully. This was an Indian drama at its best. It was like Shah Rukh Khan going to war in Dawn 2. It was crazy. Let me explain a little bit. So after they got rid of Joe Breezy, their ex-captain, the team scrimmaged with a new player. However, the quoted good guy, coach Scantzor, who was also looked as a hero for the team, prior to all of this drama, started talking smack about a new recruit that they really liked, while forgetting to mute his Discord. Discord is a platform where you can communicate. It's like a forum base with communication. And if you don't mute or put your mic on mute and talk a lot of smack, sometimes another person in the chat can hear it. Let's take it from another perspective. Let's say you're trying out for a team as a player, and while you're trying out, your teammates all like you. You're gelling well. You're meshing well. But then the coach goes behind the door and starts talking a lot of hot smack. He says this new recruit is not good enough. But he says it so loud that while you're playing, you hear it. You hear it behind your back. So how can you as a new recruit feel comfortable? How can you play for a coach that does not like you? that's what happened, as the coach, Scant, was caught red-handed talking smack on Discord. As soon as he heard all this smack, the new potential recruit closed doors. They didn't want to hear anything from each other. Now we have seen two things that the coach has done wrong. But the coach on Twitter says that I am considering a potential career change following 3 consecutive employers over the past 2 years taking advantage of me in one way or another. He continues his sad story by saying, unfortunately, Dota 2 jobs in the SEA region have not provided me with any kind of job security. I was mistreated, unpaid, and dismissed out of hand. I'll put the tweet link below. And like normal viewers that read something sad, we often try to feel sorry for him, feel pity, and often take sides to the tweeter. Well, that's what he wanted people to do. He wanted people to feel bad for him. However, instead of the world feeling sorry for him, they're actually ridiculing him. They're laughing at him. He is the laughing stock of SEA Dota at the moment. This is what Sid, the manager of Entity Gaming, has to say about the coach. They kicked him because of these reasons. 1, because he couldn't decide on the positions. 2, he got the ex-captain kicked. 3, he was talking smack, or he was bad-mouthing future recruits, and because he was bad-mouthing them, they didn't come together. Also, 2 months had passed after TI8 and nothing good happened. Every tournament qualifier they attempted was bad. They ended poorly.
Are you serious? You didn't find it? CDS.
So look at it from an organization point of view. I know I speak a lot negatively about the Wings Gaming organization, but that deserves negativity, right? They treated a TI6 winning champion team so poorly. They treated them terribly. However, the organization and Entity Gaming is coming out and saying that, hey, we are pouring our hard-earned money and sweat and tears into this team. We tried so hard, we made the positive move in TI8. Now this coach not only has poor results in the new season, but also is making our whole team in a miserable state of being. Should any team put out any more money to see no stability at all? What would you do in that situation? This was a clear decision on why Team Entity decided to get rid of Scant, aka Hodgeson, their coach. And the last and final part that I want to mention is that Scant, the coach, he said that he did not feel safe while playing for this organization, while coaching the team. Similar to what Demon from Team Admiral said, he accused of unsafety. Well, the coach said that he was unsafe playing in the boot camp area, in the team houses. It wasn't healthy. Now, despite what the coach says, how come none of the players backed him up? How come none of the players agreed with him? And in fact, every player that was on Entity Gaming disagreed to the coach. They said that he was spewing lies. It was all bogus. Even Sid, the manager, reached out afterward and asked the former player in this chat, you can see, whether or not if they felt threatened, if they felt unsafe. And without any surprise, we see that none of them felt threatened. None of them felt unsafe. So it is clear that Scant was telling all of these lies just to make himself be depicted as the one that we should all feel sorry for. Like he's not to blame at all. It was the organization's fault, not the coach's fault. Well guys, Crystalis Dota in this episode is giving you the hard fact. Sometimes the coach is to blame. Sometimes it's not the players' fault, but it's the teacher who's guiding them. Now they have to get a new coach and all the players seem all scattered everywhere. The whole team has lost its mojo. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this story. This is a story of how a coach can bring the downfall of an entire Dota professional team. And I know this is a specific team that many people don't know about, but it's something to keep in the back of your mind as you listen to more of my Dota 2 story. Until next time, this is Crystalis Dota. Make sure you subscribe today.